Are you prepared for the upcoming food shortages this winter? This isn't a question to make you uncomfortable, but rather to prompt a crucial conversation about the fragility of our food supply in the face of mounting challenges. From the erratic patterns of climate change wreaking havoc on crop yields, to logistic issues that are throwing a wrench in the works of our global supply chains, the factors contributing to this situation are numerous and complex. Add to that the economic instability, and it becomes clear that our food system as we know it is under serious threat. We're not just talking about exotic fruits or luxury items here, we're talking about staples, the foods we often take for granted. The harsh reality is that some of our most common and favorite foods could become scarce in the coming months. So, what's on the list? Let's delve into the 12 foods that will be in short supply this winter. Starting our list, we have apples, wheat, corn, and soy. Let's delve into why these food staples might be harder to come by in the coming months. First up, apples. A fruit loved by many for its crisp bite and sweet flavor, but a series of late frost events has wreaked havoc on apple orchards. When frost hits as the delicate blossoms are opening, it can spell disaster for the year's crop, leading to a significant reduction in apple yield. This weather anomaly has hit hard in regions known for their apple production, which means fewer apples on supermarket shelves this winter. Next, we turn to wheat. Wheat is a major global staple, providing a significant portion of the world's caloric intake. However, prolonged periods of drought in key wheat-growing regions have led to a decrease in harvest. Drought causes stress on the wheat plants, reducing their yield and overall quality. This could potentially lead to a shortage of wheat and wheat-based products. Third on our list, corn. Corn is not just a food product, it's also a key ingredient in animal feed and various industrial products. Unfortunately, extensive flooding and unpredictable weather patterns have disrupted corn planting and harvest. These disruptions can lead to less corn available for all its uses, which can have a ripple effect on food supplies. Lastly, we have soy. Soybeans are incredibly versatile, used in everything from tofu to soy milk to animal feed. But trade disruptions coupled with adverse weather conditions have put a strain on soy production. The result? Less soy available on the market. These are just 4 examples of the potential food shortages we might face this winter. Each of these foods has its own set of challenges, be it weather anomalies, drought, flooding, or trade disruptions. These are just a glimpse of what to expect. Let's look at the next set of foods. Continuing with our list, we have meat, dairy, coffee, and chocolate. Starting with meat, it's not just about the steak on your plate, but the entire supply chain that brings it to you. The cost of feed is skyrocketing due to unpredictable weather patterns and reduced crop yields. Farmers are struggling to keep up with these rising costs, and this pressure is likely to lead to a meat shortage this winter. Next up, dairy. Dairy is closely linked to the meat industry, relying heavily on the same feed supplies. As the cost of feed continues to climb, dairy farmers are feeling the pinch. This is compounded by the fact that cows need extra energy to stay warm in the winter, which means they consume more feed. So, expect to see less milk, cheese, and butter on the shelves. Now let's talk about your morning cup of joe. Coffee is in jeopardy due to frost damage in Brazil, the world's largest coffee exporter. Unusually cold weather has damaged millions of coffee plants, and it will take years for these plants to recover. This means less coffee on the global market and higher prices for what is available. Finally, we come to chocolate. This beloved treat is at risk due to political instability in West Africa, where a significant portion of the world's cocoa is produced. Disruptions in these regions can lead to a decline in cocoa exports, which means less chocolate for us. As we see, the reasons for these potential food shortages vary from environmental to political. It's not just about a lack of resources, but also the intricate and often fragile systems that bring these foods from the farm to our tables. The ripple effects of a single event, like a frost in Brazil or political unrest in West Africa, can have far-reaching impacts on our food supply. So, as we brace for potential shortages, it's crucial to understand these complex dynamics and consider how we can support more resilient food systems. But for now, it's time to hold that cup of coffee a little tighter, savor that piece of chocolate a little longer, and appreciate the bounty we have today. Let's move on to the final 4 foods. Completing our list, we have avocados, almonds, bananas, and tomatoes. Each of these foods faces unique challenges that may contribute to a shortage in the coming winter months. Let's start with avocados. These creamy fruits are primarily grown in California, a state that is no stranger to drought. Unfortunately, avocados are water-intensive crops, needing on average 72 gallons of water to produce just 1 pound. As drought conditions persist and water becomes scarcer, farmers may be forced to reduce their avocado production, leading to a potential shortage. Next we have almonds, another Californian crop that is similarly water-dependent. Almonds require a staggering 1 gallon of water for each nut produced. With the state's water resources under immense strain, almond production is likely to take a hit. Furthermore, almonds rely heavily on bees for pollination, and the ongoing decline in bee populations could further exacerbate the issue. Moving on to bananas, these tropical fruits are facing a different kind of threat. A deadly fungus known as Panama disease is wreaking havoc on banana plantations around the world. This disease, which is incurable and spreads rapidly, could potentially decimate banana crops, leading to a significant shortage. Finally, we have tomatoes. While they are grown in various regions, tomatoes are particularly sensitive to extreme weather conditions. Whether it's excessive heat, cold, or rainfall, any of these can adversely affect tomato crops. With weather patterns becoming increasingly unpredictable due to climate change, tomato shortages could become a common occurrence. Each of these foods, avocados, almonds, bananas, and tomatoes, are staples in many of our diets. Their potential shortages serve as a stark reminder of the intricate and delicate balance of our food production systems. As conditions change and challenges arise, we may need to adjust our consumption patterns accordingly. These are the 12 foods we predict will be in short supply this winter. The looming food shortages are a reality we must face. In a world where we've grown accustomed to abundance, the words food shortage hit hard. But that's the situation we're grappling with. We've taken a deep dive into the 12 foods that are predicted to be in short supply this winter, and the factors causing these shortages are varied and complex. Climate change is a major player, with unpredictable weather patterns wreaking havoc on crops. We've seen this with the wheat and barley, both of which are facing potential shortages due to droughts and heat waves. The same goes for the humble potato, a staple in many households, which is also threatened by changing weather conditions. Then there's the ongoing pandemic, which continues to disrupt global supply chains. This is particularly evident in the case of canned goods, with factories struggling to keep up with demand due to labor shortages. Similarly, the meat industry is grappling with the same issue, with many slaughterhouses and processing plants running at reduced capacity. We've also touched on the geopolitical tensions that are impacting food supplies. For instance, the world's largest almond producer, California, is in the grip of an intense water crisis, leading to a potential scarcity of this popular nut. And we can't forget the ripple effects of trade wars, which are causing shortages in foods like soybeans and pork. The impact of these shortages will be felt globally, but they'll hit some areas harder than others. Economically disadvantaged regions will bear the brunt, and we're likely to see an increase in food prices everywhere. This is a wake-up call for all of us to rethink our food consumption and waste habits. Now is the time to prepare and plan. Remember, forewarned is forearmed. It's crucial to stay informed about these issues, to diversify our diets, and to support local, sustainable farming where possible. Together we can navigate these challenging times. Stay safe and stay prepared.